I watched 4,000 patients die over 53 years of practicing medicine. I signed their death certificates. I held their hands in their final hours. I told their families. And I am going to tell you something that most of those people had in common. They did not have to die when they did. Not from genetics, not from bad luck, from choices. Exposed patterns I first identified in 1972. Exposed behaviors I warned patients about for decades. Most of them did not listen. Now most of them are gone. I am 102 years old. I am not telling you this because I want your sympathy or your amazement. I am telling you this because I need you to understand that I have spent more time with dying people than almost anyone alive today. And I know exactly what separates the ones who made it to 90 from the ones who dropped dead at 68. You are probably doing at least 2 of these things right now, today, this morning, and you have no idea they are shaving years off your life. The first thing I learned in 53 years of medicine is that sitting will kill you faster than almost anything else you do. This is not an exaggeration. I watched it happen in real time, patient after patient. In 1981, I started keeping separate notes on my patients who sat for work versus those who moved. Accountants, secretaries, executives. They aged differently. Their blood work looked different. Their hearts failed sooner. By 1990, I had enough data to know that someone sitting 8 or 9 hours daily was aging internally about 40% faster than someone who moved throughout the day. The medical literature caught up eventually, but I saw it first in the bodies of my patients. Here is what happens. You sit. Your circulation slows. Blood pools in your legs. Your lymphatic system, which depends on movement to function, stagnates. Toxins accumulate. Your muscles begin to atrophy within days of reduced use. After age 60, this process accelerates dramatically because your body loses the resilience it had at 40. I had a patient, a retired judge, who exercised every morning for 45 minutes, religiously. He thought he was safe, but he sat reading and watching television for 10 or 11 hours after that. He was dead at 71, a stroke. His morning exercise did not protect him from his afternoon stillness. The solution is not complicated. Move every hour. Stand up. Walk to another room. Do something that requires your legs. I have done this since 1974. I set a timer. Every 50 minutes I get up. I am 102, and I still do this. The second pattern I identified was sleep. Not just getting enough sleep, but getting the right kind. I cannot tell you how many patients told me they only needed 5 or 6 hours. They said it with pride, like it was a sign of strength. It was a sign of delusion. Your brain requires 7 to 9 hours to complete its repair cycles. During deep sleep, your glymphatic system flushes out metabolic waste, including the proteins associated with cognitive decline. When you consistently cut your sleep short, you are allowing these toxins to accumulate night after night after night. I watched patients who slept poorly develop memory problems a full decade earlier than those who slept well. The correlation was so strong I could almost predict who would start declining based on their sleep habits in their 60s. And here is something the research is only now confirming. Broken sleep is worse than short sleep. Waking up 4 or 5 times per night, even briefly, prevents you from reaching the deep stages where restoration happens. Many of my patients did not even know they were waking. Their spouses knew, but they did not. If you wake up tired after 8 hours in bed, something is wrong. The third thing that kills people after 60 is loneliness. I know this sounds soft. It is not. Loneliness triggers a chronic stress response in your body. Your cortisol remains elevated. Your immune function decreases. Your inflammation markers rise. I had patients who were otherwise healthy but lived alone with no meaningful connections. They deteriorated faster than patients with serious chronic conditions who had strong social bonds. The data on this is overwhelming now, but I saw it clinically for decades. Humans are not designed to be isolated. After 60, when you lose a spouse or friends start dying, the risk of isolation increases dramatically. You have to fight it actively. Join something, call someone. Do not let weeks pass without a real conversation. The fourth pattern involves food, and this one makes me angry because the advice my profession gave for 40 years was wrong. We told people to eat low fat. We told them whole grains were healthy. We told them orange juice was good for them. We created a generation of seniors eating toast and jam and cereal and wondering why their blood sugar was out of control. After age 60, your metabolism changes. Your insulin sensitivity decreases. Your ability to process carbohydrates diminishes. Foods that were fine at 40 become inflammatory at 70. I changed my own diet at 65 when I started seeing the patterns. I eliminated most processed carbohydrates. I increased healthy fats. I focused on vegetables and protein. My inflammatory markers dropped within 3 months. I recommend the same to my patients who would listen. Most would not. They trusted the old advice. Many of them are gone now. The fifth thing is chronic worry. This one is subtle because it does not look like a health problem. It looks like a personality trait. But constant low-level anxiety keeps your stress hormones elevated in a way that damages every system in your body. I had patients who were retired, comfortable, surrounded by family, and still spent hours every day worrying about things they could not control. Their bodies aged faster. Their sleep was worse. Their immune systems were compromised. Learning to let go of what you cannot control is not just good psychology, it is survival. I want to tell you something about my wife. She died 8 years ago. We were married for 61 years. She did not follow any of this advice. She sat constantly because her knees hurt. She slept poorly and refused to address it. She ate the way her mother taught her, bread and sweets and low-fat everything. She worried about our children and grandchildren every single day. She died at 94. You might think 94 is a good age, but I watched her decline for 15 years before that. I watched her lose her mobility, her sharpness, her independence. Those final years were not a gift. They were a slow diminishment. She could have had another decade of real life. She chose not to change. I am 102. I live alone. I cook my own meals. I walk every day. I read. I call my grandchildren. I sleep 7.5 hours every night. I am not special. I am not lucky. I made choices. You are making choices right now, today, this hour. And I am telling you from 53 years of watching people die that those choices matter more than you want to believe. You do not have to change everything. Pick one thing. The sitting or the sleep or the isolation or the food or the worry. Fix one and the others become easier. I have buried 2 of my 3 children. I have buried my wife. I have buried 4,000 patients. I am still here. And I am telling you that most of the people I buried did not have to go when they did. You are still here too. What are you going to do about it?